Hey guys, what's up? It's Friday night, which means we're here looking at football plays because what else are we going to do, I guess? So what we're going to do, try and do this every week. I'm a little later this week. I would apologize, but I don't think anyone actually cares, is look at my favorite red zone concepts from week three of the NFL season, getting ready for week 4 here. I don't know how many I'm doing any given week. It's been going out to about 9 or something, and that's what happened this week as well. That's great. But we're actually going to look at 10 plays because one of them is terrible. So let's get to those. So the first one is going to be terrible. Oh, look, it's Panthers Saints. Who could have foreseen such a thing? The concept itself is not terrible. I don't like it here, like the 4 or wherever they are. So I've got a little information up here in case you're curious. I've got down distance, the gain, and the personnel. So 12 personnel. It's kind of this, I don't know, Y cross country dagger, typically I would call it. The depth, there's no depth. The first thing about it, I don't like the depth. This is a concept I can see because you're dragging. It actually kind of works here. You're dragging that guy away. What I don't like is over here. So he's kind of runs a deep cutter. Then he doesn't know what he's doing. And then he kind of runs around. So we're going to watch it. There's zero spacing. And then Jameis just throws a YOLO ball. Like he's running. And then he sees this guy coming. He's like, oh, I'm going to get over here. There are so many dudes over here. Just so many dudes. 1, 2, 3. And then you got 4 there too. And there's 2 receivers. Jameis just chucks it. He's like, I'm just going to throw it over there. I got 2 of my guys. One of them's going to catch it. You've got 3 defenders at this point because this guy's sunk off. 3 defenders, 2 receivers. Throws it up. His receiver, insane catch, goes up, grabs it with one hand. There's guys all over. This guy's trying to tip it. This guy's trying to catch it. We'll see it better from the other angle. Great catch. Just a terrible, like, I don't like the concept because the spacing is all jumbled and everything. And the throw is just so dumb. It's so ridiculous. And then his receiver, as you like right here, you could think he's got his hand out. One-handed catch, going back shoulder over this guy here. It's one of those that, like, when you talk about process over results, this is one of those because everything about the process is terrible. The result is good. It's a touchdown, obviously. Good for them. The points count all the same. But if you're trying to recreate this, if you're trying to build this into an offense and you're saying, we want to do something that's repeatable, that can find repeated success, this is not what you do. The thing that we just watched, that's not what you do. So process is bad. Results are good. If they try this again next week, hey, it worked this time. Let's run it again next week. It's not going to end that well, I'm going to say. All right, we are done with the bad one. I don't think I'm going to do those every week, but that was one that jumped off the page. And I was like, my goodness gracious, this is awful. This one I'm not going to spend a ton of time with. This is, obviously Brown Steelers. They're in 13 personnel, which is awesome. I love that. And what they're going to be doing is this is not so much. They're basically running dragon with kind of a deeper slant here. And so what you're doing is you got the slant flat, and what you're doing on this case is you're looking at, if this is man coverage down here, you're looking at this guy. So if it's man and this guy follows, this guy's going to take the slant. And so you just wait for him to clear the slant window and fire it in there. Again, the concept itself, pretty basic, nothing amazing. The throw here is crazy. I love the throw here because it's Njoku out of the breaks. You can see he's loading up the throw now. I've got him back foot planted. He's clearing the flat. He's on the outside. These guys are all stuck here. He's got a tiny window. And again, you're in 13 personnel. It's Njoku, big guy. So I'm just going to throw it up for my dude. Whistles that ball in there. We'll watch this again at full speed and from the end zone angle as well. You can really see it. Up high and away for Njoku to use that big frame, go up and get. So again, waits for, I guess I circled the wrong guy. He waits for flat to clear, and then when the flat window is clear, he'll throw into the slant window there. There we go. He's cleared. He's got the window. Linebackers are held in place, but you got this little drag there. Fires it in. Up high. Like just absolutely ripped to a perfect location for a big receiver. So we'll watch it from this angle as well. Because again, it's beautiful. He's looking off the entire time. He knows where he's going. So watch his head and see he's looking off, looking. He's looking over that way. You're pulling this linebacker. This one's kind of dropping wide, but he's still reading the eyes of the quarterback. He's given safety the same way, staring straight at him. He's given nothing, absolutely nothing. And then as soon as he sets back. Watch his feet. Bang, bang, bang. He's setting like he's throwing. You can't really see his feet there, but he's kind of looking like with the drop back. He could be going either way, but he's looking that entire way, still reading that way. He sets ready to throw. That head does not turn around until he set. Great job ever set, and just rips that throw. Watch it in full speed here. Step, 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 set, toss, chuck, just beautiful throw. Great job by Njoku to come down with it. This is another one that's basically the same thing, and this one is interesting. This is going to be that slant flat concept as well. Slant flat. It's going to go to the flat. It's interesting because of what the Dolphins are doing here. They're bringing guys. He's going to have a slight hesitation as far as blocking. He's not going to block. He's going to release instead, which does what you kind of don't want to do is you don't want a free rusher in your quarterback's face. That's exactly what's going to happen here. And there we go. Well, I guess he doesn't even stop. I was thinking he stopped. He doesn't stop. There's no check here. He's not chipping. He's not doing anything. He is simply releasing to the flat. And since the Dolphins are all crammed here, they're all inside. There's no one out there. This is the only guy here, and he's going to be pulled inside, which means the edge is going to be wide open, but you have to allow that free rusher in your quarterback's face. Allen sees him, is able to stand in, drop back. They've got this guy kind of coming there too, and just throw it in the face of that guy that's bearing down on him off his back foot there, coming in, but this entire flat is open. So slant flat, same thing, that dragging concept, just you're getting to it a slightly different way. And the result is still a touchdown, but you're looking at that in terms of we're going to allow a free rusher directly in our quarterback's face because the running back's free out. You see right there. Again, like not a lot of teams are going to do that, are going to be happy with that, I wouldn't think. But it worked right there. So take it. This one, I love this one's another one from Bills. This is just simple, man. You get down to the red zone, it doesn't take a whole lot. You're doing a little, I think it's gonna be this. It's gonna be a drive concept. So the drive is a high-low middle. So you've got this dig from the inside and then a drag underneath. And so you're what you're supposed to be doing, really, what the concept was, this old West Coast concept, is you're high-lowing the linebacker. If he pulls down, you got the dig open. If he falls back, you take the ball control underneath. That's the idea. What the Dolphins are doing here is Dolphin stuff, which is just jamming the line full of guys. You've got no one back. So you got 1, 2, 3. You got 4 guys there. They're going to pull this guy in. So you've got trips over there with those 3 receivers, and they're going to run this little drive, and there's not going to be anyone underneath because everyone's blitzing. It's kind of one of those, you look, and you can see it better from the other angle. You see like this, they're mugging the A gap here. What teams have been doing is you got the simulated pressure thing. So you have to respect the pressure or the threat of the pressure due to the protection plan you have to have. You have to assume, and there's different ways to deal with it. We're not getting into that, but you have to assume that these 2 guys are coming. Because if they do, they're blowing up the inside and then you're sacked. You have no answer for it. And so you have to have an answer for that. What teams a lot of times will do, bring those guys up and drop them out. Still, you do have to bring them occasionally, or at least one of them occasionally, just to kind of respect it. Dolphins bring both these guys, and you can see they look like they're confused a little bit. The Dolphins are, but they bring like every single guy. They're not bluffing a single thing. They bring every single guy, including, rewind it a second. See this guy here? He's the lone guy to this side. Well, when he goes in motion, I think Knox goes in motion. He comes up to the line and he turns into a blitzer as well, which gives you, what does that give you? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys blitzing. I guess I could have counted the 3 that weren't blitzing and done math, but I opted not to do that because I am not a smart person. I'm just going to count with my pen thing. So up to the line, huge blitz, 8-man blitz. They're bringing the house, which leaves no one, absolutely no one. These 2 guys here, but again, you're running this thing here, which ties them up. A drag is wide open, that entire space wide open. It doesn't get a whole lot easier than that. And when it's possible they just brought 8 to bring 8. That's a possibility. But with the chatter ahead of time, it's possible there's a little confusion. Maybe someone was supposed to drop out. Maybe they just thought they could get there before Allen was able to get rid of the ball. This was 3rd and 8. So it's 3rd and goal from the 8. So maybe they just thought, listen, what are they going to do? Complete a short drag on us and then get to the end zone? And then they complete a short drag on them to get to the end zone. So we'll kind of see the Dolphins guys are they're looking around, lots of hand gestures, guys are looking, and all of those guys of the line bring in every single one of them. And the protection holds up just enough. 93 gets free there. But drag's already open. Allen's already sees it. Throws in the face of a lineman. I mean, good throw. It is a good throw. We'll say that. With 93 coming in there, gets his hand up. Allen still has to put on the money. He does. So I love that concept in the red zone, especially against that heavy blitz. It obviously worked for them. So that's one I really enjoyed watching. This one, the only note I have on this is just it's in all caps, the throw. So this is Bills Dolphins. This is gonna be Dolphins touchdown, and Tua is gonna rip this sucker. I think it's here. It's kind of a dagger, but it's tight, man. It's real tight. So you got this inside guy running a vertical, and then you push up vertical and you run into that area underneath it. The timing on this is just absolutely perfect. So this is another one that, like, the concept is fine. The throw is just absolutely incredible. Kind of going back to the Browns one. You can see that kind of. I mean, they're falling back. Bills do a pretty good job on this. And it's going to go. Stop it. Two is planted. Throwing. This guy's supposed to be clearing, but it's not clearing a whole lot. And this guy's just going to run this dig right here. And you can see, I mean, there's not much room there. And I think you can see it from the other angle as well. Those guys are there. This guy's playing underneath. There's not much room, but Tua just absolutely rips this sucker. And we'll see it better from the other angle. We'll play this back again real quick. So inside guy will run this. I guess it's from the outside. It's going to run that dig. It doesn't move a whole lot of people, but the throw's perfect. And man, it's really hard. It's really tough to beat a perfect throw. And Tua just absolutely rips this sucker in a perfect spot where only his guy can get it, I guess, and just absolutely puts it on him. Really incredible throw. So watch it here. Plants that foot, arm back, rip. Like, just you see the placement on that. Kind of a body catch. You like to see maybe hands or whatever, but is able to secure it, gets it in there. Just perfect throw. This guy moves out the one guy in the middle, so he does have a little area to throw it into. But, I mean, again, not a ton of space. Absolutely rips the throw. Tremendous job by Tua. This is so this gets into, so this is top 5. We are on number 5. 3 of the next 5 are all different variations of the mesh concept. So they all found their way in here because I love mesh. I love mesh at the red zone, but also because there was a lot of them that were cool. And these 3 different ones were run slightly different ways. So I wanted to kind of look at the different ways they were run and highlight those a little bit. So this is kind of your standard. We're going to go, they got 23 personnel, so heavy. They don't have a wide receiver on the field. They're going heavy run look. And you can see everyone's all jammed up here. So you got all those guys here, this heavy line here. I think this will be the 2 backs, and it's 1, 2, 3. Excuse me, 3 tight ends. And they're going to run off the edges. I think run off the edges. Actually, we'll just do this. So 84, yeah. So he's going to be, so off this YY wing position over here, that YY wing, so it's both those tight ends. They'll drag. He's going to come over the top. It's going to end up going to this guy who's going to kind of clear that first window, and there's going to be a boundary defender, and he's just going to sit down, and Lamar's going to put it on. He doesn't really sit down, I guess. Lamar just sticks the ball on him, and he has no choice. You see he's kind of turning. They got the cross here, cross. This guy's hanging. So once he crosses this window, Lamar doesn't basically let him get any further. He throws it on him, and the guy just makes the catch and falls down right there. He does not appear to be sitting down, but that guy's there. That guy's there. You've cleared the window. You've knocked a guy off. Actually, let's talk about that for a second, because that is one of the things. There's a weird trying to pass this off, and the pass off doesn't work. So we'll talk about that real quick. So this is the crossing. He's looking, I think, to fall off, and then he's looking to fall off to kind of, and so in that condensed area, you get those bodies running across each other like that. And that's an easy way to get guys knocked off each other. And so there's different defensive ways to play it. You can stick in man, you can try to carry across, but again, condensed area, that's tough. You can try to pass it off, and then you pass off and communication gets a little messy. which is kind of what happens here. But I mean, they do kind of pick him up, but this guy does it late. Lamar's already throwing. This guy's waiting. Again, he just sticks it on him, man. Let him turn away from the safety, get your body on it, and just fall in the end zone. So again, one of the reasons I like mesh in this area is just because you do get those, you get the bodies running at each other, you get those defensive bodies kind of running, either pick a guy off, play with the rules a little bit. In this one, it's that late pickup on that drag, and then the boundary defender sitting out. And so you kind of get this, you creating, it's all about creating space. You've created space between the corner who is switching off and the boundary defender who's not crashing. Lamar reads it, sees it well, and just sticks it right on the guy. You can see right here, he's throwing, he's in the act of throwing. That guy's stuck in space. You've got this whole gap out here. You're just going to throw it, put it on him, throw it away so he doesn't get let up. Touchdown. This next one, we'll go Vikings-Lions. Same thing. So we're going to have jet motion. I like this because he turns and gives like a fake pitch. Then you're going to have the mesh here with this. There's different ways to run this concept. Or one of the ways, a lot of ways you'll see is like this little kind of sit route over the top to kind of always think like take advantage of the chaos you're creating there. Thielen's going to leak out and just follow that over. We're going to see this a little bit in the next mesh when we look at 2, which is going to be number 2. So it's in 2 plays. So you got this mesh, and then he's going to follow this over, and he just kind of gets lost. And the Lions are bringing some pressure. You got this guy here who is following across. So he's coming over. He's going to come over. You're going to see Thielen kind of give him a little, oh, hello on the way through. There you go. He's like, Thielen gives him a little juke. He's like, I got you. But the guy's not even looking at him. He's looking at the jet. You got to cover the jet. This guy here, he's pointing. Someone pick up Thielen. Someone pick up Thielen. So it looks like, again, you've got their rules played with a little bit since you got this guy coming across on the jet motion. This boundary guy, I think it's him, is staying here to pick that up. So my guess is, and I don't know where the miscommunication is, based on how this guy's pointing. So this guy thinks I've got him a man. This guy here thinks I've got the boundary. This guy, when he crosses over, the strength changes because you've got 2. It's a balanced look here. Once you change it, you've got 3 here, and then you've got kind of this offset back. So it changes the rules a little bit. So again, I don't know who's at fault, but he's thinking I've got the boundary. This guy, when he crosses, he needs to go and he needs to pick up this guy here. That'd be my guess as far as the communication. There is some kind of communication. It causes communication breakdown. Again, that's the jet motion. That's a combination of the jet motion. It's a combination of crossing routes and just being down here, forcing the defense to make quick decisions with this stuff, with jet motion, with all that movement, and then hitting them opposite that. Really smart play in the low red zone like this. And to combine that, you've got the fake pitch as well. So you're kind of moving guys. That guy's got to commit. This guy's here on the edge. Thielen's just kind of leak out. He's going to find space over the top. There he is. Cousins just throws it. Piece of cake. Now, again, we'll look at happens pretty quick. You can see. There we go. Sorry. That boundary guy right there. He's pointing right there. He's saying Thielen's crossing. I assume someone pick up Thielen, and no one does because he's coming over and just wide open. Again, really, really nice route or a nice concept there. And again, you get the jet motion. You're playing with some rules. You're kind of making that confusing, making the picture muddy for the defense, force them to communicate in a tight space quickly, and it just doesn't work. So I love that. This one I also really love. So I'm a big fan of, and we'll get to one here at number 1. But I'm a big fan of these kind of rub routes down here. And what I really like, one of the ones was I love one of my favorite routes, or one of my favorite things is kind of this follow slant, which I guess would be like here, kind of that you get that guy kind of running, and then he kind of runs off the hip, and you're creating space there. You're doing that except the opposite. So we're going to have this. It's a sprint out. And we're going to have this kind of dual sprint out with this guy trying to body. Now Chargers play this well. This guy here is able to jump under, and he's able to kind of get underneath. So it makes it for a tight throw, but I really, really like the concept a lot. Again, you're making it difficult. And so what's going to happen is you run, you make yourself big, make yourself wide, try to make yourself a shield, sneak this guy underneath, Lawrence is sprinting out and just hit that guy there. So not a ton of space is created. Again, it's not, if you want to do this, that does, like, you really have to run that off the hip, and they're close. You kind of like to see him cut that a little more in there or something. Again, it's nitpicky, but concept itself, I really, really like, and just go there. So far, what the Jags have done, I had them on last week as well. I think it was last week on Arches concept. Jags are a really, really fun red zone team. They're doing some really nice stuff down here this year. The Lions as well. Actually, the Lions did not make it. They were on the mesh play on the other end of the mesh play against the Vikings. But the Vikings and Jags, surprisingly, two of my favorite red zone teams from this year. So I'm excited to see how this goes. If this is just a blip, or if they're going to keep it up. But the creativity with Peterson and Jacksonville, I'm really, really a fan of. So this is here featuring the Texans because there's something wrong with me. This is like power mesh, man. I love this. This is 13 personnel, so it's one back. You got 3 tight ends and like a YY wing look with 1 wide receiver. And so you're going to have, it's basically, I've got this as power mesh. You've got 2 and 2. Like you're flooding the middle of that field. You're looking for space. If you're trying to get bodies flying around before, you're really trying to do it now. So this is second down and 4, again, 13 personnel, just absolutely gorgeous. You can see like how all of this is just a big mess inside, and it ends up going here. And we'll kind of toss it back and we'll look to see kind of what's going on there with him. But I really like this concept. Again, big fan of mesh. It's a linebacker. He picks us up in the middle, and he just kind of, the body's flying around. There's just a little confusion. He picks it up a little late, doesn't want to get hit. Oh, it doesn't even go to him. I'm sorry, it goes to the top guy. So it ends up going to it goes to this guy right here. That's on me. But yeah, I mean, he could. I say threw it to him because this guy does appear to be more open. There's more room there, but he goes up top anyway. And with that big body, kind of like the Njoku touchdown that we looked at earlier, it's a big body. If you like the matchup, you throw that up and you have your guy go up and make a play, and you've got leverage on him. So now I say go up and make a play. That's what Jameis did in the first one, and that's all he did was, I'm gonna throw it up and one of my guys is gonna make a play. He's got leverage. The defense gave him the right look, all of that stuff. So I don't mind that. You've got enough separation where you throw that up high for your guy. You like that. So again, this is mesh, but we'll call it power mesh. You're throwing 13 personnel. You're throwing 2 guys at 2 guys crossing the field and just causing confusion and just trying to create those windows. I'm gonna grab a drink of water real quick. I can feel my throat starting to go here. But last one, this is going to be, and I swear not homer pick. The number 1 this week is the Packers. It's the Packers because, again, it's this follow slant. I kind of talk about the Chargers play. And this, it doesn't matter what that route is. It's a clear out. You make your body big. You're not doing offensive interference because you're not blocking the guy, but you're making your body big. You're making it tough to run through, and then you just kind of sneak this guy underneath. Now, what they're going to do is they're going to run an RPO, I believe, to this side with Dylan. And it's a power. We're going to look at that. I think you got a couple of polars there. And so you've got this stuff up front. You got these guys looking. They're looking power run. It's 3rd and 3. You can get a first down without a touchdown. Running game. Well, this is the first drive. I mean, running game had been fine. They got a couple of big chunks here. So they're kind of thinking about that. But really, it's just all about these guys over here. It's make your body big, make those R big. And this is I talked about this in an RPO video, so I won't belabor the point here, but I wanted the Packers to do this vertical pushing RPOs for the past couple of years, and they're doing it more this year. This past week was the biggest week they did it. And the craziest thing to me is, or not the craziest, just one of the things with a lot of these vertical pushing RPOs, you're reading a constraint defender. You're saying, like, there's a linebacker, say here. You're saying, what does he do? If he comes up on the run, I'm throwing behind him. If he falls back, I'm running. They're doing these vertical pushing RPOs, but they're spreading these guys out. And Rodgers is still getting that pre-snap look, which allows him to get the ball out quickly and make that decision before the ball is snapped. I don't think Rodgers likes it when the waters could potentially get muddy after the snap, because we've seen it backfire on him a little bit, where he pulls the ball to throw and then someone steps in the throwing lane, even if he had an advantageous look on the outside. So he still likes the pre-snap reads, which is what he's doing here. So, and he's really just, I like the matchup, man. I've got these linebackers are offset over to this side. You've got this is 12 personnel, Both tight ends are here. So you got this YY wing, this heavy look over here. The shotgun run, a lot of times, he'll cross the face. So you'll get a delay. Sometimes they'll run same side. For the most part, you cross the face. You're targeting to run that area. So between that dual tight end set and then AJ Dillon offset there, you've got the linebackers are set over here because they're looking for it. The safety is stuck in the middle, which leaves this whole side vulnerable. You've only got these 2 defensive linemen here. And again, you got 2-on-2. So do I like this matchup before the snap? Lazard's going to make himself big. I think Dobbs can get into the end zone. Someone's going to throw it, and Rodgers has a release to do it. So the D end tries to get there. Rodgers doesn't even move his foot. Just a pivot, just step, turn his body, and just chuck it. So look at that again. There's no movement here. It's a 0-step drop. His foot, watch this. Circle it. See, I guess do a little bigger. It's on that little line there. It doesn't move. That foot does not move. Here we go. It comes off when he throws, but that foot's on the line the entire time. He gets it out quickly so that this guy cannot step in the throwing lane. So Shaq Barrett cannot step in the throwing lane. He's able to throw it around him. And again, Lazard just kind of cuts inside, makes himself big. He's going to get hit. Catches it there. It's in the end zone. So he knows he's going to get hit. But you watch Rodgers' foot again. It doesn't come up. Does not come off that line until he throws the ball. So again, that's just, I like the look. I like the RPO over there. I'm going to give my guy a chance to make that play because we're going to have it open. And I like that we're going to have it open. So I'm just going to take that as opposed to the run. So that's all we got. Again, I hope there weren't a whole lot of people watching me on Friday night. I hope you guys were doing cool things like, I don't know, partying, I guess. I'm not sure what people do. But thank you for all those who joined me. Again, truly appreciate it. And I hope to be doing this next week as well. So hopefully there'll be some more cool stuff to look at next week. So thanks again.